We all have people in our lives who stretch us, frustrate us, and push our buttons. And avoiding them isn't always possible. And changing them definitely is not realistic. But changing how we respond and understand can shift everything. So today we're going to be talking about how to get along with those people who challenge you the most in a way that protects your peace and it strengthens your relationship. So let's dive in. So, as we're diving in today, we're going to talk about those relationships that feel a little bit heavier than the rest. Okay, so as we're beginning, I want you to ask yourself a couple questions. Who drains your energy the most? Who are those people that just really, really challenge you? And who do you brace yourself for where you're just like, okay, here we go. Got to do this again. Okay. This is what I want you to apply today without judgment but learning, because we can't change anybody. We know this, but we can change and adjust the way we're going to react to those people who do challenge us the most. Okay. So, what does this feel like? It feels sometimes like emotional exhaustion, right? Or maybe we have that mental replay where we keep replaying the conversation over and over and over again, and we can't quite understand. Like, there's so many things that just linger. We've got that frustration that's happening. We've got the confusion of not understanding what just happened here. Why do they act this way? And the hardest part is how often that conversation stays with us, right? We started at the beginning of the year talking about goal setting, and then we went right into this relationship series. And you may be thinking, well, why is that? Well, if you really think about when we're setting goals, we're really wanting something really bad in life. We're moving towards something. And there's some really, really heavy distractions sometimes of maybe the impact that people are leaving on us, the words that they speak into us, the things that make us like get confused and derailed from really what matters most to us in creating the life that we desire, no matter what your goals are. It could be your health and wellness goals. It could be your career goals. It could be anything, your marriage, your relationships, all the things. So we're just becoming very proactive today in how we are going to be able to take these relationships and set some really good, strong, healthy boundaries in them. Okay. So we have those conversations. The aftermath of what happens in this is that the conversation, it ends, but your mind doesn't. Okay. So we may move on physically, but emotionally, we're still carrying it with us. And that's that heavy burden that we carry over our shoulders that I hope that we're going to be able to take steps into learning how to let go of. Okay. Again, remember, we're not going to change them. That is not the goal here. We're looking for peace. We're looking to create peace within ourselves from the understanding of this is all I can control right now is how I'm going to react to the situation. It's not about fixing anybody or changing anybody. They are who they are. And if they desire to do this work as well, that's up to them. But right now, we're going to focus on what actually helps. So let me talk about boundaries plus compassion. All right. Most people unconsciously believe that if I'm compassionate, I have to tolerate other people. And if I set a boundary, it might be too harsh. Don't want to hurt their feelings. Okay. If I'm protecting myself, it might come off as being unloving towards another person. And if I'm kind, I have to say yes. Okay. That belief system right there, those limiting beliefs are the issue of what's happening. So now let's talk about reframing, right? Offering a new perspective. Compassion is about how you see someone. Okay. Boundaries are about how you allow access to you. Okay. Now, they serve two completely different functions, and we're going to dive into each one. Now, let's talk about what compassion actually is. So, compassion sounds like I understand you have wounds. I see your fear. I see your insecurity or your pain. I recognize your behavior may come from your own story. Okay. And I don't need to villainize you to protect myself. Do you guys feel that clarity around all of those things where you're disattaching a little bit? Okay. Now, compassion is an internal posture. It does not mean enduring mistreatment. It does not mean fixing someone or absorbing emotional chaos or making excuses. Compassion allows you to see clearly without hardening. Okay, listen to that again. Compassion allows you to just see clearly without hardening yourself to that other person. Now, let's talk about what boundaries actually look like. Boundaries sound like this behavior doesn't work for me. This tone is not okay. This topic is off limits. I'm going to remove myself if this continues. Do you feel how that has your power back? It's not being mean, it's just taking your power back. Now, boundaries are behavioral decisions. They're not a punishment, they're not threats, they're not ultimatums, they are clarity. Doesn't that feel and already make you feel stronger and back in that driver's seat again? All right, moving on. So, most people learn one of two models growing up, right? So, no boundaries plus high tolerance means keeping the peace. Just be nice. Don't rock the boat. That's how I grew up. That's how I was raised. Just just don't create any tension, just be agreeable, just keep peace. Okay? Now some people have rigid boundaries and no compassion. We know these people. They cut people off. They're very, very strong in their opinion. They don't let anyone get in too close. Okay? Now, it's not this way or that way. There's actually a third way that we can do this. It's more of an integrated model, and this is called emotional maturity. Okay? So you can think, I understand why you're reacting that way, and still say, I'm not willing to engage in that tone. Okay? This is us slowing down to understand, I get it. This is a repeat. This has happened before. They always show up like this. I'm not going to change them. And I'm also not willing to engage in that tone with someone. Okay? Now, you can believe you're struggling and also decide that I won't carry this for you. You can hold empathy in your heart and strength in your spine at the same time. Now, conflict usually comes from explaining too much, defending your boundary, trying to get agreement, trying to get validation. And a clean boundary sounds like I'm not available for that. I'm going to step away. That doesn't work for me. There's no extra emotion. There's no lecture. There's no over justifying. Okay, guys? So this is what awareness looks like. This is where we get to make that decision on what we're going to allow into our life and what we're going to set and draw a line and say, no more. It's not going to happen. But I also know that I'm not going to change you. Now, this is a diagram where basically we look at, I say a lot on a scale of 1 to 10, right? So like, let's say compassion is all on one end, and then a hard heart is on the complete opposite end, okay? And then there's your spine in the middle, okay? Your strong spine and then your weak spine. And in our model, we talk about above the line and then below the line. Now, the sweet spot is, so if you look at both of those arrows in which direction, right? So a soft heart and a weak spine, or a hard heart and rigid boundaries, being cold and distant, and then no boundaries. I want you guys to take a look at this diagram and really take a look and see, like, where do I fall in this? Where do I show up in this? Because our sweet spot is right in the middle, where we can have that compassion and set boundaries. But this is an opportunity to take a deep, close look inward right now, because we want healthy relationships. Why? Why do we want healthy relationships? Well, we want life to be sweeter. People don't go away. They are everywhere. Everywhere you go, there are people. Whether it's at your workplace, whether it's at home, whether it's at church, whether it's at a restaurant, everywhere you go, there are people. So the more you understand you in this situation and what you can control, the better you're going to be able to get along with people around you. And then you're going to start seeing that there's going to be a lot more peace around those things. So it's taking that personal, radical responsibility for ourselves And that's all that we can take responsibility for. But understanding the importance of both compassion and boundaries. Because you don't want to live with a hard heart and those rigid boundaries. How is that coming from a place of empathy? How is that impacting other people around you? Right? And having no boundaries whatsoever, how is that impacting people around you? Being cold and distant, how is that impacting people around you? Most importantly, how is that impacting you? How does that feel when you lay your head on your pillow at night, thinking about the relationships that you have in your life? Are we giving? Are we taking? Are we expecting, having these false expectations of people? Like, this is an opportunity for us to really grow in this area, you guys. And I want you to remember, compassion reduces emotional charge. Wouldn't that be nice if we didn't have that emotional charge when we have these conversations with people? And boundaries reduce the repeated harm. We're not going to allow those things to be spoken into us. We're not going to allow those people to speak to us like that anymore. And we're absolutely not going to react to those people the way we have in the past. And that's when things are going to really start to change. And hopefully that's going to bring you more peace in your life and in your heart. So when you combine those together, you don't escalate anymore. You actually regulate. And that's where you're going to find that peace. All right. So our next series in March is going to be how to be a better listener. Again, we're staying in that relational zone. This is a game changer, and this is going to be the key to stronger relationships and understanding. Now, if someone came to mind while you were listening today, I want to encourage you to take one small step this week towards responding differently instead of reacting automatically. And that's where real change is going to begin. So if this series has helped you to see your relationships more clearly and you want deeper step-by-step support, I've linked my workbook, my course, as well as many other free resources. And if you want more 15-minute weekly resets like this, be sure to subscribe and let's stay connected. We'll see you soon.